effect. Like
because of the scarcity.
If you grow up as a white girl,
Yes.
and you get attention from black guys,
Yes.
in my experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys, you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes.
If
a white girl gets attention from a white guy, that's more valuable in white culture than if she gets attention from a black guy. If she gets attention from a black guy, that doesn't make you a better, she's basically not good enough for the white, so she's good for the black guy.
Within interracial or intercultural relationships with ambiguous women, are black men considered a status symbol? As black men are objectified through fetishization, are they seen of status amongst a given ethnicity, nationality, or race of women? Have black men disillusioned themselves through elusives when considering their preferences preference? As a black woman who has befriended various races, ethnicities, and nationalities of women, I find that I've been afforded candid access to their deepest sentiments, often not conveyed unto my black male counterparts. Given that our relation is one that is platonic, or rather a platonic friendship and or association, this excludes the present sexual tensions or romantic intentions often present within the black male's relationship with these variations of women. As we have shared unto one another our viewpoints of interracial relationships, they have also spoken of interracial relationships to their same race, ethnicity, and or nationality of women, as I've been amongst them. So again, I've been afforded access to their explicit interpretations of expression. I've heard these women convey sentiments that would otherwise contradict the assumptions of black men who prefer a specific race, ethnicity, and or nationality of women. I have an Ethiopian friend whom is a Habesha woman, as I also have a friend whom is a Moroccan woman. When their racial identity and or origin is inquired, these women often identify as their ethnicity as opposed to recognizing their continent or racial composition. Although they range from the African diaspora, they deliberately evade or denounce an association of blackness. Given the variations of internalized racism, classism, or respectability politics, blackness is not viewed as highly or as civil as whiteness, which reinforces a racial divide, furthermore enforcing a divisive consciousness. As it is encouraged to pursue upwardly mobile endeavors, such as secondary education amongst Ethiopian and or Moroccan families, within various Ethiopian and or Moroccan households quite comparable to my friends' upbringings, they are often encouraged to date within their nationality and or ethnicity. Although my friends are African women, they are not encouraged to date Nigerian men or Ghanaian men, for these men are often less ambiguous and display phenotypical attributes that resemble blackness, along with other regional stereotypes that stem from an internalized racism inflated with classist beliefs. So it is highly frowned upon to date black men. They are not viewed as high-value men in comparison to white men or men of that given nationality, ethnicity, and or race. These women may be fond of black men, for they are the forbidden fruit. They may garner the attention of black men as they are their preference, yet culturally, they know not to bring home a black man. If black men were viewed of status to these women in their culture, they would not be as hidden or hindered as they are within relationships. Given my personal assessment through interpersonal relations, family is the highest importance within various cultures such as the ones I've mentioned. Family is legacy, and legacy is culture, and culture continues through tradition. These various nationalities, ethnicities, and races are committed to maintaining and sustaining their rich cultures and customs through their tradition. So if you do not align to the values of said culture, you're not of value. Unless you are an exception, as you are exceptional, furthermore decorated with social and or political accessories, you are not of value. Through experience, these cultures believe in hypergamy, and as depicted within Northern civilization, Black men are not depicted in a favorable light as, say, their white male counterparts. Take, for example, a classmate of mine whom is an upper middle class Bosnian woman in her early 20s. As we were experiencing a break during our lecture, her and a few classmates began discussing romantic relationships, one of which was a biracial woman, the other a Caucasian woman. And as they were discussing their personal interests, I was granted candid access to that conversation. And one remark that I'll never forget is when my Bosnian classmate began to detail relationships as a Bosnian woman through the experience of a childhood friend. Within her dialogue, she mentioned how her friend was hiding a Black boyfriend from her entire family, not just her parents, not just her entire family did not know that she had a Black boyfriend. She stated that her friend, whom is also a Bosnian woman, knew that if her parents were made aware of her relational status, they would disapprove with the utmost disdain. So she kept it a secret until her parents were made aware of it, to which they then disowned her. As my Bosnian classmate continued her personal assessment of that relationship, she basically expressed how the Black guy her friend was in a relationship with was a scrub and essentially could not compare to the likeness of Bosnian men. My classmate conveyed visible disapproval for her friend's decision. To her, it was not a status enhancement, yet rather a needless, thoughtless defamation of character. It resonated highly with the notion of, if you like it, I love it, all the while thinking it couldn't be me as it wouldn't be me. Although she discusses BBCs herself, indulges in urban music and Black culture, and she often frequents in Ebonic colloquialisms, she knows that she does not want a Black man. She knows that she is not to bring a Black man home. She knows that Blackness should not infiltrate her space as a Bosnian woman. So as I close this video, please understand, Black men, I'm not here to pitch an argument with you. I'm not here to defame your character. I'm simply here to share my experience as a Black woman with other races, nationalities, and ethnicities of women, especially after the controversy surrounding the screenshots of this Caucasian group chat on Snapchat. I find that a lot of Black men are having a hard time hearing these white women's sentiments and often believing, or rather choosing to believe, that Black women are pretending to be white women on Snapchat, and these, like, all of this is pre-orchestrated. And honestly, it's not. I share these stories and I share these experiences to furthermore validify the context of this controversy, because there are plenty of white women that talk like this all the time in the locker rooms when I was growing up in middle school, during, art or what have you. Like, they talk like this. I've been to predominantly white schools. I've been to culturally diverse schools. I've been to predominantly Black schools. I've been to private schools. I've been to public schools. I've been to schools where I wear uniforms. I've been to schools where I don't. So I've encountered various personalities from a very young age to hear these various conversations, and they talk like that. They talk like that. And I pose these questions not to pick an argument with Black men, but to rather further the context of conversation. A lot of people are talking and speaking of the obvious for my fellow commentators, and I just want to pose a question. Like, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel as though you've been disiluded by these imbued stereotypes that have carried along with our culture of existence, because of slavery and because of segregation and all of this divisiveness that furthermore created an intensity of attraction for various Black men and white men, whether it was of love or lust? Do you think that has imbued our culture so much for us to believe that white women just need a Black man? They love a Black man, like a Black man is of status, I'm curious. I really am. I'm not here to say, oh, Black men ain't SHIT, sugar honey I see. That's not me. So I pose this question once more. Within interracial and or intercultural relationships with ambiguous women, are Black men considered a status symbol? As Black men are often objectified through fetishization, are they seen of status amongst a given ethnicity, nationality, or race of women? And have Black men disiluded themselves through elusives when considering their preference